What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Joe Culpepper Outdoors. I'm Joe Culpepper, and we're going to be kind of playing around with a new firearm today. And these just came out, I bought one, so I kind of wanted to show it and go over some of the stuff on it. So this new rifle, came out this year, and it's a new cartridge for me, which is a 308 Winchester. Something that I have had in the past, but never really used. Not because it's a bad round or anything. It just the particular rifle that I had it chambered in, I was not a real big fan of. But so what we have here that we're going to be shooting is a 150 grain Remington core locked, which is nothing fancy, nothing special. Just regular old core locks. And the rifle is a Glenfield Model A. And this particular rifle, I picked it up for about $470. And I bought it because I've got the Ruger American Gen 1 and I really like that platform, and I kind of wanted to keep with it. Now, I have tried to sight this rifle in before and I just ran out of time. I was going to try to do it a second time and I wasn't even able to get it out on that one. But I know I've got it fairly close, and we're maybe 130-ish yards from the target. So we're going to try to set it a little bit high so it'll be dead on at 200. But let's see how this one shoots. And always make sure that you have your protection. And this is kind of a weird setup to be shooting on, but that's about all I got right now. So. All right, so a smidge high left. As in maybe an inch and a half left, something like that. A little bit high. Like I said, I would prefer it to be a little high. So I don't know if any of you guys do this at home, but whenever I'm sighting in a rifle, I always like to take and tap the side of it after I make an adjustment. Just try to help those rings settle in. Okay, let's see if this second one might be a little closer. So that one was to the left as well. Oh, and we have first issue with the rifle. Okay, it just didn't grab that particular cartridge properly. So it's the first issue I've had with it. So maybe it won't happen again. We'll see. We're done. We're not shooting anymore. So it is a little bit high right, and just where it is, I don't think that's going to be an issue for me. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and clear that. Go ahead and pull this round out. And let's see, I do have a box of full metal jackets here too. I'm probably going to shoot them a little bit just to get a couple of more rounds through the rifle. Always like to pick up my brass when I'm done shooting. So let me swap these out. So these are the FMJs I have. These are from Black Sheep. Never heard of this brand until I bought this rifle. But yeah, these are just regular old FMJs, nothing fancy, nothing special. So what I'm going to do now is try to shoot a 3-shot group, and we'll just kind of see where that goes. Of course, these are not going to be my hunting rounds. I just don't want to burn through all of my hunting rounds quite yet. If you guys have been buying ammunition lately, you know that it is not cheap. And core locks, which used to be about the cheapest thing you could get, they've actually gotten a little expensive too. So let's see. Yeah, that barrel's not got real hot yet. So yeah, try not to shoot all the time, but let's see what we can do down there at 100 yards. 3-shot group with some full metal jackets. Let's see. That impact was a little low right, but if it groups, that's the most important thing. So let's see what we can do with this second round. Third round. Then we'll go check these out. And my target fell over, so that'll be the last round I shoot anyway. So let's see here. I'll take my ear protection out, and I'm gonna go ahead and set this rifle to the side, and I'm gonna pick up this brass too, because one day, who knows, I might get into hand loading, and if I do, I don't want to have to go buy a bunch of brass. I'd rather just use the brass I've already bought before. So let's see what these look like down here. And man, a couple of things that I've noticed about this rifle, the Glenfield Model A. It is basically identical to the Ruger American Gen 1, which I know that's what everyone's been saying already. But that is the truth. I mean, it's basically the same rifle. And one thing I always loved about the Ruger American Gen 1 was the trigger. It was just such a good, clean trigger in a more budget-friendly rifle. And the rifles themselves were always pretty accurate, especially for the money. It's like you always got more value than you were paying for, which is always what you want out of really anything, you know, a rifle, a shotgun, a bow, whatever, you know, insert whatever here. And so I've always been a big fan of the Ruger Gen 1s, or Ruger American Gen 1s, and this Glenfield seems to be, I mean, just as good, really. And I mean that in all honesty. I really think it's just as good of a rifle as the Gen 1s. So let's see, we got down here, and I had one shot go flying. Let's see here. So this is my target. These two are the first two shots with the full metal jackets. This was the third shot. So I'm not sure what happened to throw this up here. Maybe I flinched, but yeah. Like I said, I'm really not sure what happened with that, but that, I mean, maybe about an inch high. I mean, that's okay for the distance I'm shooting. So not too terrible on that. Just kind of bringing that back in, having it rest there. But yeah, I'm not sure what happened on that shot. Could be the ammunition. Okay, so I've let the barrel cool down a little bit, and got 3 more rounds in here of full metal jackets. All right, I'm gonna go see if I can tell where those hit and if that was any better. Okay, so that one went a lot better. So this, and this is our group. That's gonna put us right at probably 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches, I would guess. I can actually put a tape on this when I get back to the house. I would really love to shoot this a little bit more, but I'm kind of running out of light at the moment. So yeah, I'm gonna take this back and we're gonna go from there. All right, so a little recap here. I haven't measured that yet. I'm gonna try to measure that when I get home and do a little more, put a little bit more information on what I found out as far as the actual group size on that last group. But so I know that these are kind of first impressions of the rifle, because I haven't had it but for a week and a half, and I've put maybe 20 rounds through it, which I don't think I've even put that many. A couple of things that I want to point out on it for pretty much everybody that is interested in this rifle. Okay, action. Very smooth. I really like the action of this rifle. It is very similar to the action on my Ruger American Gen 1, but one thing I noticed about this one, it is just a smidgen smoother, which I can attest that to maybe just because this is more of a budget option of a rifle. Maybe the bolts are not machined quite the same every time, so there could be a little variance in that. I would not really say that that's a huge deal when we're looking at a $400 to $500 rifle, but I know for some people that is a big deal. But this bolt is very smooth. Another thing I really like about this gun, I love this magazine. The design on this magazine just seems to be so much better. Maybe I shouldn't say so much better, but I just prefer this design over the design on the Gen 1 Ruger. So the Gen 1s, they had 2 styles of magazines. You could get either like, I'm not sure exactly what they call it, but you know, like an aftermarket type magazine with the gun, or you could get one with Ruger's proprietary magazine, which was a rotary magazine. I have used both of them. I definitely prefer the aftermarket style, and I think everybody pretty much agrees with me on that. That just seemed to be a lot better of a magazine than the rotary Rugers. Not getting in the 1022s. That's a completely different topic. But the rotary magazines for the Ruger American Gen 1s were just not as reliable as I think the other magazines were. And this magazine is kind of a combination of the two, but definitely leaning more towards the style of the aftermarket type magazine, not Ruger proprietary magazines, which I'm a big fan of. Instead of being rotary, it's just a traditional, you slide in, you push down, and then it's spring. There's a spring under it that pushes the next round up. So really like that. I really like the texturing on this stock. It gives you a little bit more of a grip on the rifle and gives it kind of a cool look. Of course, if you don't like that, then negative. But another thing on this scope, this is a burst drop tine 4.5 to 14 by 42. And this scope is the same scope I have on my 6.5 Creedmoor, which is a Ruger American Gen 1. And I didn't put this scope on this gun to have a apples to apples comparison between this and the 6.5, but it just turns out that that's what they had available, and I already had experience with it, so that's what I put on here. But what I can say is I do like this scope. It's fine. I mean, $200, can't really go wrong with that. And I know there are other options in that $200 range, but I really like this. And so like I said, this is kind of a first impressions. Haven't put a pile of rounds through it, but I really do think that this is a good rifle for a starter or somebody that's wanting to get into hunting and you really want a solid rifle. If you look at other rifles in this category, like the Savages, the Savage Axis, and like the Mossberg Patriots, you hear a lot of hit and miss stuff on the quality control. I haven't heard anything on the quality controls really on the Ruger Americans. I know there are probably people out there that have had problems, and I will never say that there aren't, but I haven't seen any problems out of them yet. And I think this is going to be the same way, just from what I've seen. Yes, there are going to be some bad ones in every batch, and you can take that to every level. Every manufacturer of anything, there are going to be some that are just way better and some that are just way worse. But from what I have seen so far, I think this is a really good platform to start with, especially because you can find these in retailers starting at around $400. So put you a scope on there like this, you can be $600 before tax and before any ammunition, before rings, and you have a really solid performing rifle for the price. You get a really good trigger, you get a smooth bolt, you get a good stock, or in my opinion, a good stock, and you are threaded for a suppressor or a muzzle brake. This rifle will probably wind up being suppressed sometime in the future. Not sure exactly when that's going to happen, but probably will. So anyways, with all that being said, I will try to do an update on this rifle in a few months as I hopefully get to put a few more rounds through it and get to take it into the deer woods with me and hopefully harvest a couple of deer with it. At least one is the hope, but we'll go from there when that time comes. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please stay safe, stay in the outdoors. God bless you. I'll catch you on the next one.